Hello, hello, people of the internet. It's your boy, Skinny Penis, and we're finally picking up with ship reviews. Ship review time of all the new ships I haven't covered yet. So that includes Cerberus first, then like Cassard, Svea, La Pampa, maybe Hildebrand, maybe not. I don't know. Hildebrand is a bit of a, let's say, AFK kind of boat, more a carrier than a cruiser. But maybe I'll cover it since I already got it. Yeah. First, we start off with Cerberus, probably the most straightforward of the boats. Newly released Perma AFK Kite HE Spam Cruiser, but with the fine addition of insane levels of DPM and fire chance and a dented smoke. So you can just sit AFK for free in Kite and shoot for free. Yeah, well, just gonna play it live 2 games, show the spec in between. In general, like definitely a cruiser that trumps most other kite cruisers. Basically, I mean, you have like a Hindenburg for the penetration flavor, where you get like pen and fires. And apart from that, like you have Nevsky, which obviously has the easy to use rail guns, especially against DDs and the radar. And then probably on top of that, you have like Cerberus as the next most useful kite cruiser, probably more useful than a Hinden even. In randoms, Hinden is maybe a bit stronger because it pumps out the penetration damage, which is stronger these days, given the BBs. Like with my ship, I don't pen any BB here. With Hindenburg, I would pen all of them. So obviously, Hindenburg has a lot of value here. Especially also as you get a bit more range than Cerberus, which something to note in general, like Cerberus having stupid range. But yeah, what Cerberus is all about is the fire chance. You have 20% fire chance. That is ridiculously high. Like it's obscenely high. And you will, or like if you play it, you will see like you're basically just arsonisting and withering people faster than most other ships. Yeah, especially if BBs don't have fire prevention, you just burn them into the ground. Note though that the armor on this car is extremely shit. So the midsection supposedly has 32 platings on the side, 30 on the deck, I think. But the midsection is very small. So the problem here is that... oh, what's in there? I think the Austin is getting smoked. The problem here is obviously that the that the acid nose are too easy to hit, and therefore, oh, the guy's inting. And therefore open watering with this ship is quite the challenge, or basically staying alive. Also, the gun angles they gave it are not the best, that's for sure. Like, your gun angles are pretty mediocre-ish. By the way, I can't use my smoke here yet, because the people will go dark, most likely. There's no DD that spots anymore. I may want to use my smoke nonetheless, though, in a few seconds. German is definitely... I think I just run away. The Colombo's coming in and shooting me. I think I'll just use my smoke now. Yeah, the Colombo is griefing me hard. AP is definitely usable on this car, so since this guy turns flat, as you can see, like the Colombo clicks me, the Monty hits my nose for 11k, and I'm already half HP in my ship, so maybe I should have smoked a bit earlier. But now I'm totally fine. I have Hydra on, I'm in kite with my smoke. I don't think... oh, wait, never mind. I actually was about to say I don't think the man will go into my smoke heart detection. The gearing, I meant. But he did actually come. May have overstayed now. I wouldn't have expected the gearing to do this, but... well, he did. C is being contested. Yeah, that's the Gdansk. Monty won't shoot. Pretty sad. Let me check real quick if I'm still in smoke heart detection. Nope. The gearing gave up. I still have 1 minute of hydro. As you can see, just a perma AFK kiting here. A Colombo's coming in. I will turn my turrets. The gearing is actually chasing me after all. I can't believe it. That is crazy. The Gdansk is rushing the... Gdansk is rushing the Sherman. I think our Sherman will die. We will lose the cap. Yeah, nothing you can really do. Now I have to go back to my remaining teammates and maybe bait them. I don't really have anything that can spot for me. Our carrier is not coming over and my smoke is out. So yeah, well, as I said, since you don't really have armor, I will most likely just decide to play it way more passive. Okay, my Hydra actually popped up some torpedoes right at the end. That's pretty good. I'm gonna pre-heal instantaneously. Ah, the gearing went back to smoke up the Austin. Also something I have to be careful about now. The Austin does have me in range and I'm getting penned by him everywhere with the sap, so yeah. As you can see, it's a kite cruiser. It's a kite HE spam cruiser. You're not going to bring a lot of utility to your team unless obviously, and that's something that I somehow have not really had in like the last 30 Cerberus games. You have submarines in your game. You are basically cucking submarines fully out of the game. You have increased ASW range to 11 km, which is BB ASW. Mind though that the splash radius has been greatly reduced, and I think the damage a bit too. Yeah, damage is a bit reduced and the splash radius, so your ASW isn't like straight up BB ASW in terms of effectiveness. But you do have the funny 8 km sub-surveil, which is 1 km more than the other cruisers that got it. So submarines can't really push on you, that's for sure. You're definitely cucking out subs. Yeah, okay, the Austin is trying to spam me now. Gotta go dark again. A bit hard for me to actually find a repush angle. Also, like, I farmed back the Monty, and I mean, most of the BBs are on the other side. Would have obviously been way easier for me to be one line against Hanover, Yamato, and shit, and farm them to crap. Interestingly enough, the gearing is actually chasing. The guy is reload boosting. I have a DCP though. Well, just gotta be that passive. There's no real way for me to do anything apart from waiting it out. We're actually chain smoking an Austin with a Colombo behind. I don't have my smoke, I don't have my hydro. Our carrier just died. Oh, the game is definitely a loss. Nothing you can really do. Oh, good showcasing of the lack of utility though, to be fair, on this boat. Would have hoped for a bit of a better game. I mean, our carrier being dead, not moving, is quite a disaster, obviously. Okay, this guy comes out of smoke. Shoot him a bit. I think they're re-smoking that man again. At least what it looks like. I think I have to turn it back now. I don't know how he's lit, by the way. Doesn't really have a lot of HP now, does he? No. Nearly killed him. Gonna repush, I have smoke ready. I mean, probably our Hanover over there dies. Our Wisconsin sits full HP and spawn doesn't do anything. Colombo and I have no spotting left. Okay, I'm dark. That's pretty cool. Ah, the Lucian is over there torping the Colombo. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, well, kited out too far. Pretty AFK game. 94k. I mean, if I get another shot at a battleship for a few shots, then I probably go above 120 or so. And that's about it then. Both BBs are aiming for me. I have to just eat the Richthofen volley. It's obviously a sea server clown. 10k damage, whatever. He doesn't really citadel me that easy. Like, the ship has an awkwardly wonky sit as well. It's not like a super flat one. I mean, I could also just die here if he gets sits. No heal. Oh, not that bad. Have to smoke here. I'm flat to the Colombo. And we die. Well, that wasn't really a good game. I just had a bunch of DDs that inted. And that's also why I don't really like to play these kite cruisers. As you could see, like, there's nothing I can do against the destroyers. There's nothing I can do to spot for myself unless I want to get myself killed. That's the thing with the armor I spoke about. 32mm sights sounds cool in 30 deck. I mean, that's just a joke technically, because they could have made a 32 deck at least. But look at the ass section and the front section. Basically, it extends behind the turrets. Therefore, I mean, there is way more area, and you have a lot of superstructure, so there's way more area for people to shoot and penetrate you, overmatch you, because only 25. Then there is area that you could bounce them on. So therefore, this is just technically just a gaslighting operation here with 32 sights. Doesn't really do much for you. Captain skill-wise, it's just like a normal cruiser spec. I mean, this year, the top grade gunner, you can technically invest into whatever you want. You could run outnumbered, even though pretty sketch, because it gets like 18 point something base range, 18 kilometers exact. They nerfed it a bit before release. What you could also do is you could go for a bit of consumable reload, consumable duration, both those. You could also go for fire and consumable reload. All is possible. I just take top grade. It's kind of whatever. I can run it on a... Actually, no, I wouldn't run this on a brisbane, so it's kind of whatever. You just need those basic skills trees over here, and then with the 4 points you can do whatever you want. Interesting to note though, you don't want the smoke module in my opinion. You run superintendent anyways for 4 smokes, and because you want 4 heals. What's the point here? Like, you increase your smoke duration and action time of it by 20%, but the reload stays the same. So like you're still going to be stuck on the same reload. I mean, you can do it. Your smoke will be extremely long, but I personally like it to have another smoke ready earlier, because obviously if your first smoke lasts longer, the second smoke will be off cooldown later in the game. Not later itself, because you don't increase the reload time here. It's just a straight up buff to the duration, but it will be later in the game. So I technically like the faster smokes a bit more. I wouldn't want to increase the duration, but yeah, that's up to you. I mean, personal preference. Be advised though that if you run the duration, you won't even be able, I think, to use all 4 smokes. That is not possible in one game of 20 minutes, especially also because the first 2 minutes you're most likely not going to use it. But yeah, so therefore you have 18 minutes, and I think the duration and the smoke time combined is like around 5. I mean, you could run the consumable reload 7.5% on captain, but yeah, 4 times 5 is more than 18 minutes. So yeah, not necessary in my opinion. As said, like, since the games are more stacked or more important in the first 10, 12, 13 minutes, I personally would go for like a 2-minute smoke and then just have it off cooldown earlier in the game again. The next one. Okay, same map again, same spawn again. Interestingly enough, we run it back. Maybe quite interesting. So like, potentially, if in this game the Trump and the Gdansk play the game properly with me together, or don't throw themselves away like the Ragnar and the Sherman, like dogs, and the CV just kills himself and doesn't spot anything for us. So like, if these people play, you will most likely see that I can deal like randomly 200k here potentially. That's always the thing with permakite cruisers. You will be able, through your sheer amount of damage output of the and like idiocy on enemy cruisers and DDs that basically shoot or get themselves lit on purpose for no reason, and you can kill them. You will still be able to get 65 to probably around 65 to 70 max. I would put it at like 67, 68% win rate solo is something you can do. 70% if you're really cracked at farming. But that's like the upper limit. You're not gonna really get more out of it because you just don't have the tools. It's an AFK kiter. It's as I said, it's one of the most effective, if not the most effective and safest AFK kiter at the moment. But yeah, well, you're not going to forcefully spot a DD or yeah. Even as you saw last game, if your DDs die and you have literally 0 spotting left, you're completely cooked. But yeah, also like the submarine, it's kind of nice to be able to fuck with subs, but as you see, like, spawned again on a flank that doesn't have a sub, or last game we didn't even have a sub in the game in the first place. My DDs both again going for the cap. Actually 3 DDs going for the cap. They have they're mentally challenged again, as I can tell. Therefore I'm forced into the early turnout and AFK kite on the 10 line again. I would wish that more people would play the DDs in the flanks first, because like if I get spotting here and help trade a DD with my DD, like 2-3 shots, like the Lucio last game that got himself spotted lost a lot of HP to me, even though he was 11-12 km away turning out. He lost like 15-16k or something, round about that, in 3 volleys. So personally, I would really like it for DDs to do more of this, but now I just have to watch the DDs go AFK over there and nothing basically. I'm kind of fine though, at least I get Hydro, so I'm not going to be like magically griefed by torpedoes in the first smoke. I'm popping the smoke here because I want to flat reverse to the Puerto. I will also already pop my Hydro. You will see maybe this game that I can just perma-light light up BBs instant in ships, because like my fire chance is way too high. The 20% on that reload is just stupid. The thing is a arsonist with a printer, as said. I hope that the enemy DD doesn't run insta-fire. I hope that the DD obviously doesn't run it into my Heartlight this time around, but I think with these instant fire again. Okay, he's dead. With the overwhelming force we have in terms of DDs in the cap, I think I may just turn it already in and go, like the enemy team is going to run away as it seems. Am I lit if I go out of smoke? No, actually not. Very interesting. Instant fire again. So like we had like 5 volleys, 4 of them were a fire, instant. Yeah, that's kind of what it does. Like it's just it's a fire spitter. And also great DPM, especially if you pen the enemy ships, like cruisers, 32 BBs, you also get a lot of DPM or just superstructure farming. There's no DD here actually, that's really good. But I also don't have a smoke in a while. Okay, that DD is just throwing himself into my DDs. Yeah, good choice to immediately turn it around. There's nothing on this flank, I'm shooting and I'm dark. Damage there. Is the ship balanced? Probably not. No, it should have way less fire chance and DPM, that's for sure. But that's the thing they do these days with Svea and Cerberus being the perfect example. If a ship doesn't get armor, which cruisers don't anymore after the Petro Napoli coping, you just get the gimmicks to completely obliterate DDs and or permanently stay dark against against battleships, because this is how they try to keep the monkey cruiser players alive, I guess. You basically get clicked by any BB in this ship. It is really not tanky. Gun angles are really meh, but you get the obnoxious 2 minutes I farm you for free smoke. So yeah, by the way, instant fire again. This ship prints 20 fire games, 20 plus fire games. It's very easy. It's a bit of a brick though, yeah. I mean, okay, technically everything feels like a brick these days after you played Libertard and it's a BB with armor and like crazy tankiness and shit. And, like Libertard randomly moves around like a cruiser. Better than a cruiser, that's what I mean. Like you play Cerberus and you feel like a brick. So yeah, this game, a complete opposite. This flank is suddenly empty, not run over. My DDs are not dying, but griefing the enemy destroyers. So yeah, it's a stomp in my direction after a stomp against me. Both games not really damage heavy. You kind of need drawn out games. The ship scales really well if you want to play individual, like your individual ship in a division, like not smoke bot or be forced together, and you just play your part and you have a DD in the division. This ship scales insanely high. Like if you have a Smarland or I don't know, daring, whatever DD really that fights the enemy DD and spots for you, you can just be extremely close, permanently smoke yourself up and farm a million damage. Obviously not on EU, because EU is just a shit show these days. Like this is just pathetically garbage. Nothing is really happening. It's like 6 minutes into the game. I mean, I have 58k because I got some fires on the Krem, but Krem is kiting away. There's a random ass you in the enemy spawn from us, and we'll probably never see this Kreml again, because the game will most likely tick out before he ever rejoins. I will go towards the Thunderdome, hope that I have spotting and farm into it. Oh, never mind, the Kreml is actually turning around. This is pretty nice. The Wisconsin will spot for me, so I will just slow down and smoke up. Ramager shots, I can even open water him, or like get lit here shooting, doesn't matter. Yeah, also keep in mind water speed, you keep rolling with your boat. Instant fire again, as you can see. Maybe I'll get another instant fire on the superstructure here too. Oh no. As you can see, the fire setting capabilities of this boat are brain dead. You know, it's like pretty bad to then argue that cruisers are weak, right? Which they, like, Svea and Cerberus aren't. Especially not in randoms. I mean, if this Kreml wouldn't have spec fire prevention, I would probably already arsonisted him. It's a pretty shit argument, I guess, yeah, from my side. Like cruisers always suffer. Because, like, you could just hide in a smoke and arsonist people. I know. But, what's the point of these cruisers, right? Like, what's the point of a server? It's just AFK annoying, and it's just shit gameplay. It's the same way a Liptard is a bit awkward. It's the same way other, like, obnoxious kite HE spam BBs are shit. I don't know why they force this gameplay onto us, like, where, like, I just have to hide, but I get... Oh, okay, nice. Game is over. I can play a third one, I guess, because 90k game into 90k game, nothing happening. Maybe the next game is going to be good. See, this is like kind of why I like either push heavy BB or a DD, so I can actually play close, rotate faster, be free to move through the middle of the map to the other side. In this Cerberus type stuff, I'm just forced into the flank that I spawn on, kite out in the beginning because I don't know what's coming. See, like if I would have gone in last at the game before, the first one I die instant maybe, or probably. In this one here, would have been the right choice, but like you can't really take that decision. Last game it was would have been correct to run it down. I just don't know. Yeah, another map finally. Carrier game again. Torpedo DDs, but like super BBs. So like this is pretty nice. Hanover Patrie. Obviously the moment you see they don't have fire prevention, the ship scales to insanity. That's really it. Like, for example, a Hindenburg wouldn't really care if these ships have fire prevention. You would still pen them into the ground. This one here immediately becomes a busted ship the moment enemy BBs don't spec fire prevention. And as we know from Landier's replay analysis, around 40% of the BBs only spec fire prevention. Around between 40 and 50% it was. Like half the BB population is just a bunch of monkeys that want to get arsonisted in seconds and insta DCP a fire. But yeah, we'll go to A. It's a better flank for me to kite because I can just you see, like, you would use the same spots you use in other cruises to get cover with the island. I'm just easier in like, you play this cruise is easier to play in any position, because if they focus you or if you're in danger of maybe getting shot, you would just pop the smoke here and kite and actually be off the island, so you get easy angles. And well, if your smoke is down, you maybe just use the island after to keep yourself in cover again. It's the same way I just kited on Sleeping Giant in an open flank, but like this ship holds position better. You need a DD for that, or spotting for that, obviously, because you can just sit there and spam, and like they either have to radar you or forcefully run into your smoke hard light. Like in the first game, if I have a DD that spots the gearing can never go for smoke hard light. I can sit super close, and I can also or I can hold the position and farm from the smoke for free. So yeah, it's like a better cruiser at holding position, because any other cruiser that's kited and has to shoot and get spotted obviously has the issue of being lit, therefore being shot, and therefore being also susceptible to overmatch and being clicked by battleship. So yeah, I'm going to shoot the gearing and here at 14 kilometers. This guy is most likely going to just int in. I'm not even gonna pop a smoke here, maybe. I'm just going to farm Azuma because he's coming in range, and then I will rotate to the other side because the two super BBs are going there, and that's obviously what I want to counter. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Farm whatever comes into my range. As you could see, again, instant fire. Yeah, that guy gets one shot, as I said. That was pretty expected. The other BB is just gonna finish him now. Oop. That was expected, the way he played it, the way he pushed basically in and just slowed down, flattened everything. So it was as to be expected. Oh, we pop hydro after the fact. Okay. Okay, the gearing is apparently not running it into the Haaland. I guess the Haaland is lit and that's why he's running. Okay, we will go for a rotation. Just run over to the other side. Great concealment on the ship though. 10 kilometers is also better than most other cruisers. You kind of need it because of your armor, but then again with the smoke it becomes a bit too obnoxious to spot that thing ever. 7-3 smoke fire detect is also awkward because something like a Des Moines has 8-3, 8-2, so getting 7-3, which is a kilometer less, nearly is quite awkward. I don't really understand it because the same gun caliber. Who knows why they made that decision? Yeah, well, I don't really have to care about the Jaeger or Yinan Peats. I have enough ships on my left to spot the twerps for me. Other side is kiting from us or in spawn from us, so actually worthwhile for me to go over. No one is really going to deal that much damage to the super BBs. They're probably just going to W it in after some time. Yeah, we have the... your AA is by the way shit, just to note that. You're not going to do much with your AA. Ship speed, also nothing special. Don't really know what to say about it. It's just like, as I said multiple times now, it's just the most effective, or one of the most effective kite ships in randoms these days. Really amazing. So yeah, you just search for another spot to kite. The reason why I don't push A here is very obvious. If there wouldn't be that many Torp TDs or Torp boats, I would probably push. But I mean, a Yinan, a Jaeger, and a Gearing is a bit too much because like Haaland and Gdansk don't really look like they have a brain. Neither is our CV interested in spotting over there. So not really something I would go for. Doesn't really strike me as a smart idea. I will just instant fire, by the way, again. I will just sit here, farm the Lepanto. Should be okay. He gets himself one shot. As you can see, insta DCP. Oh, he smokes. Oh, he shot though. Okay, he smokes and shoots. So now I can actually get permas because he stays instant fire again after DCP. No fire prevention. Insta DCP the fire. No fire prevention. Also got himself halved already against the battleship. So instant fire again. We have insta double. This is kind of really just what you can expect from this boat. I tell you that much. The boat has the fire chance for this. Well, just gotta eat 2 of those Peats. It's Jaeger Peats. I can probably tank it. Shouldn't be that bad. Midway detonated the gearing. 49 on smoke. Huh. Lots of Italian cars today, huh? I mean, there's always... Bit of a wasted smoke, ain't gonna lie. Not that nice. Now I have the long cooldown while the super BBs run it down. That's a bit shit, but what can you do? Upper tree is a bit too close for my comfort, not gonna lie. That's awkwardly close. The carrier is lighting me anyway, so I can just shoot. Nothing really to do, apart from just trying to dodge open water. Obviously, the BB clown is immediately aiming for me. That was pretty obvious. And that dispersion also looks completely horrendously nasty. No, it wasn't that bad. 3 people aiming at me now. Gotta care that Hanover doesn't get the random idea of shooting me. Yep. Just going from A to B. Z, kiting. That's what the ship does. Already 70k damage. This game is definitely better for me. This guy also stopped caring about me, which is very good. Finally we get the fire. Obviously super BBs have a bit of better coefficient. Fire reduction one, so you will get slightly less fires. This boat into tier 8s, by the way, is a complete disaster for the tier 8s, obviously. Like, definitely one of the engagements of all time. Okay, got the instant fire. And there you could see it again, instant fire. 7 fires already. Oh yeah, on that note, you actually do lose quite a lot of turrets to HE. Gonna heal. Gonna go dark and I think look for an angle somewhere to go. Latara is sniping. Curious coming in. I think I may just wait for now and not do anything awkward. We still have a CV, which means that DDs shouldn't be able to do much. Archery is basically dying for free over there. I think all my BBs are humping him. We do have 232 overmatchers on his deck. And the main. Yeah, the Patry never had a real good way into the game. I don't really know what that guy is trying over there. I'm looking for the Lepanto and the other Tara, because this Hanover definitely looks like he's just gonna AFK kite. Instant fire again. Another fire. I'm gonna slow down. The Lepanto picked up on me being a thing. The pedo clicked me for 16k instant. What can you do? I want to get a perma there for no reason. The Shema won't be spotting me for now. The Jaeger doesn't have torpedo angles. Technically I could use AP here actually. Italian side plating is very flat. My AP doesn't have improved pen angles or anything, but it's still decent pen AP. It's like Hindenburg pen or something. So, as you can see, get some nice penetration damage. Get the kill. Nice. Gonna hydro now in case there is something. The game is gonna be over in seconds, so not really much for me to hold the hydro back for. I won't even kill this guy, because then the game is immediately over. I just want to... Oh, this guy turned flat after camping and spawn the entire time. Ain't no fucking way this guy just got himself 2-shot in spawn, man. This fucking Aratara. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hanover is still running away. 10 fires. Pretty nice. 130k this time. Wow, we broke 100k. Not really like the best games, I can tell you that much. But lately EU for farming ships isn't the best place to be. And I end the game here. 3 kills, 130k. Definitely not a good set of games to showcase how stupid you can actually be at farming. Like you can get 250, 300k in no time. But I mean, it showcased how you play it. You play it passive, you use your smokes. You can hold positions a bit better. You can even re-push with the crawl smoke, as I just did, if you don't have a DD to worry about in your hardlight or a radar to push. So yeah, it's just an easier version of any other kite cruiser in my opinion, especially if you have the patience to wait for the smokes. You're becoming quite obnoxious. Gotta hope for good games though in terms of farming. Obviously if I had the other side spawn I would have been on 250k at least or something. I could have just farmed the 2 super boats immediately. But yeah, that's it for Cerberus. Not much to say. In my opinion, worth it to get. The tier 8 and 9 are also extremely playable, so the grind isn't bad. The tier 8 gets a heal, the tier 9 is way smaller and also has great DPM. Obviously, they all have the same gimmick with the crawl smoke and the DPM, the high fire chances. Yeah, that's it for Cerberus. Hope you enjoyed it. Would get it, would play it. Pretty stupid new boat. And I'll see you for the next video.